Rogue One is the first ever anthology movie to be based in the Star Wars universe and is set between episodes 3 and 4. And as you probably know, it's about a group of rebels who risked their lives to steal the plans for the Death Star. Now, I went into Rogue One kind of excited because I love some of the people behind this movie and I think the premise is very interesting, and I'm glad I did because I came out of Rogue One kind of loving it. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but it is still very enjoyable nonetheless. The performances in this movie I thought were very good across the board. Felicity Jones was very good as Jyn Erso, and I personally thought that the friendly relationship that sparks between her and Diego Luna's character was very well handled. I really liked Diego Luna's character, and I also enjoyed Riz Ahmed's character. I thought he was very good in the movie, and I'm glad to see him getting bigger roles with every movie that he's in. Because I've been following Riz Ahmed's career since he was in Four Lions, and I thought he was great in that movie. And since then, he's just been in more and more movies, and I'm glad he has, because he is a very talented actor. However, the two standouts in this movie are easily Donnie Yen's character and the droid K2SO, voiced by Alan Tudyk. K2SO is this Imperial droid that was reconfigured by the Rebellion to serve the Rebellion, and he honestly makes for some of the funniest moments in the film due to the fact that he's very sarcastic and he comes out with whatever the first thing in his head is. Donnie Yen's character, on the other hand, is this blind guy who I think is supposed to be Force sensitive. They imply it quite a lot, but they never explicitly say that he's Force sensitive. But I loved his character. He kicked a ton of ass. He was also very funny as well, and he was probably the most badass character in the whole movie. Ben Mendelsohn I thought was good as the bad guy. I mean, he's enjoyably over the top, like most Star Wars bad guys are, but he really doesn't deliver anything to his character that we haven't already seen before in a Star Wars movie. Now, for me, one of the clear highlights of this movie was Gareth Edwards' direction, and in his 2014 Godzilla movie, there was an amazing sense of scale that was perfectly well realised, and here, I think he improves it in every single way. Everything looks grand, massive and epic, whilst still maintaining a very old original trilogy style that is needed for a film like this. Also, the cinematography is gorgeous, and this is cemented by some absolutely stunning CGI. Now, like I said, this movie isn't perfect. First of all, there isn't much Darth Vader in the movie at all. He's only in like 2 scenes, and even though those scenes are incredible and some of the best Darth Vader scenes we've ever seen on screen, it would have been nice to see him a little bit more in the movie. There's also this CGI motion capture character that appears throughout the movie, and when you first see him, it is kind of impressive and you can kind of go along with it. But then he appears again, and again, and the more he appears in the movie, the more he sticks out like a sore thumb, and the more distracting it is. Which is a shame, because if they'd left him in just 1 or 2 scenes, it would have been fine. But the more they bring him back, the more obvious it is that it is a CGI character. Another problem that I had with this film is that the only character that you get proper backstory and character development for is Jyn Erso. All the other characters, even though very interesting and very cool, don't get anything. They are pretty one-dimensional, and this kind of leads into another problem I have, which is that the first act of the movie is very sloppily handled and is pretty slow going. I mean, in the first act alone, you're introduced to all these planets and all of these characters all at once, and it's quite hard to take it all in because you're never given enough time to notice each one as they happen. You're like, here's a character, okay, and then here's another character, okay, and then here's a planet, okay, and then here's another character. You don't have enough time to take it all in and then move on to the next one. They just show you things there and then very quickly. However, that being said, most of the flaws in that first act can be somewhat excused due to a final act that is simply perfection. They honestly could not have got the finale any better. You could say that the film starts off a bit wonky, and then as it progresses to that final moment, it just gets better and better and better. From the moment they head off to their final mission to the moment the credits appear, it is just amazing cinema and some of the best things we've ever seen in a Star Wars movie ever. Also, despite the fact that the majority of characters are one-dimensional, by the time that final act comes around, you honestly don't know who's going to live and who's going to die, making it very unpredictable and very intense. Overall, Rogue One was a very enjoyable Star Wars movie, and I will happily watch it again and again in the near future. And I'm going to give Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, an 8 out of 10. It perfectly fills in the gaps between 3 and 4, and I honestly can't wait to see what the next anthology movie is going to be. So guys, that was my review for Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I hope you enjoyed it, because if you did, you can leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel to help me out. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye!